Introduction. Never enough. Is your child stressed, overworked, unhappy? You're not alone. Today's teens face immense pressure. They juggle school, activities, and endless homework. This isn't just normal teen life. It's a sign of a bigger problem. Our society's focus on achievement is hurting kids. We've turned childhood into a race for success. But at what cost? Children are suffering. Their self-worth is tied to grades and achievements. This needs to change. Why should you care? As a parent, you want your child to be happy and healthy. But the current system is doing the opposite. It's creating stressed, anxious kids. They're burning out before they even reach adulthood. What's causing this? Parents and schools push kids too hard. They fill schedules with classes and activities. There's constant pressure to excel. Kids feel they must be perfect in everything. This leaves no time for rest or fun. The problem is getting worse. Good opportunities seem scarcer. The gap between success and failure looks huge. Parents worry their kids will fall behind, so they push even harder. It's a vicious cycle. But there's hope. We can change this. How? By rethinking what success means. Your child's worth isn't tied to grades or trophies. They matter, no matter how they perform. What can you do? Start by easing up. Let your child have free time. Encourage play and relaxation. Show them love isn't conditional on achievements. Praise effort, not just results. Remember, childhood should be fun. It's not a career path. Your kid needs time to be a kid. They need to explore, make mistakes, and grow naturally. This change starts with you. Reflect on your own beliefs about success. Are you putting too much pressure on your child? Can you redefine what matters most? By lightening your child's load, you're giving them a gift. You're showing them they're valuable just as they are. This builds true confidence and resilience. Want to learn more? Keep watching. We'll dive deeper into this issue. You'll discover practical ways to help your child thrive without the stress. It's time to create a healthier, happier future for our kids. In this episode, one of the educational English book summary, we will discuss the content of the 2023 released Never Enough book written by author Jennifer Brainy Wallace. The full title of the book is Never Enough: When Achievement Culture Becomes Toxic and What We Can Do About It. Genre: Psychology, Personal Development, Education, Society and Culture. Chapter 1: Never Enough. The pressure on today's kids these days face a lot of stress. School is harder than ever. Many teens study late at night or wake up very early. They do this to keep up with their classes and activities. Take Molly, a high school student from Washington. She often sleeps at midnight but wakes up at 5 a.m. to study more. She does this even when she has sports practice later. Sometimes she's so tired, she runs with her eyes closed. This shows how hard kids are pushing themselves. Their lives are very structured. Adults plan every minute to help kids succeed. But this focus on success and competition is hurting kids. Kids have little time to rest or think about what they want. They're always racing to the next goal. This constant pressure is making many kids sick. Even students at good schools are now seen as at-risk youth. These schools have high test scores but also cause stress. About 1/3 of American students feel very pressured to achieve. This pressure is causing a mental health crisis. More young people feel stressed, anxious, and sad. Society and media also make kids feel bad about themselves. The main problem is clear. Too much stress is hurting our youth. Parents need to step in and help fix this issue. Kids need time to be kids. They need rest and play. We should let them explore their own interests. Success is good, but not at the cost of a child's health and happiness. Chapter 2: Never Enough: Economic Pressure Drives Parental Anxiety. Today's parents are feeling more anxious about their kids' futures. This worry is making them push their children harder. Why is this happening? It's because of big changes in the economy. In the past, most Americans believed each generation would do better than the last. This idea is no longer true for many people. Recent polls show that 2/3 of Americans don't think this will happen anymore. Numbers back up this feeling. A white middle-class child born in the 1940s had a 90% chance of earning more than their parents. For a child born in the 1980s, this drops to just 50%. As opportunities become scarcer, people start to worry more. This worry is natural. It's how our ancestors survived when food was hard to find. Now parents worry about their kids' futures. They become more protective and afraid to take risks. Parenting has changed a lot since the 1980s. American parents now spend twice as much time on schoolwork with their kids. They also spend more money on tutors and after-school activities. This change matches growing gaps in the economy. College graduates now earn much more than high school graduates. In the 1970s, college grads earned about 50% more. Now they earn about 100% more. The 1960s and 1970s were different. White middle-class parents could focus on making their kids happy. Life was cheaper then. After World War II, the economy was good. Government policies and strong unions helped many families. That's all gone now. Parents feel they must push their kids to succeed early. This creates a culture focused on achievement. Kids often feel like their worth depends on their success. They wonder if only certain achievements and certain people matter. This pressure affects kids deeply. They question who they are and where they fit in society. In a world so focused on success, they worry if they're valuable as people. Chapter 3. Never enough helping kids feel valued in a competitive world. Today's world is very competitive. This puts a lot of pressure on kids. Parents can help by showing their children they matter. Research shows that more young adults are becoming perfectionists. This has gone up by 33% in the last 40 years. Society and parents are pushing kids to be perfect. This isn't on purpose. Parents are reacting to a tough world with lots of competition. How parents and kids get along is very important for a child's mental health. When kids can meet high expectations, they feel rejected. They think they aren't loved. This makes them try to be perfect to get love back. The real problem is that kids think they're only worth something if they achieve a lot. This is not true. Kids need to know they're valuable just for being themselves. Feeling like you matter is important for mental health. People who feel they matter to others usually feel better about themselves. They're less likely to be depressed. Mattering can be shown in small ways, like when a friend brings you soup when you're sick. Sadly, many young adults think their parents only love them when they do well. Some think their parents' love depends on their grades. This is not good. Children should feel valued for who they are, not what they do. Society says value comes from achievement, but parents should teach kids this isn't true. Parents need to tell their kids they are enough as they are. How parents talk to their kids is very important. Small actions can make a big difference. A happy greeting when a child comes home can make them feel valued. Showing real interest and love helps a child feel good about themselves. Parents can help their kids in this tough world. By showing them they matter, parents can give their children a strong sense of self-worth. Chapter 4. Never enough. Lies. Big or small, they all hurt. Lying is bad. We learn this as kids. But many people still tell small lies. They think these lies don't matter. Big lies can ruin lives. They can end jobs or send people to jail. They can even hurt whole countries. Yet governments and media still tell big lies. This makes people not trust leaders. For example, the Iraq war started because of a lie. The US government said Iraq had dangerous weapons. This wasn't true. Now many people don't trust US foreign plans. Small lies seem less bad. People use them to be nice, but they can cause problems too. Here's an example. A family is getting ready for guests. The husband says he wishes they weren't coming. Later, the guests arrive. The man says he's happy to see them. But his young daughter tells the guests what he said earlier. Now the man is in a tough spot. He can't agree with his daughter. But if he denies it, he teaches her it's okay to lie. He could have avoided this by being careful with his words. He could have said something like, "That's why we have guest rooms." Small lies might seem harmless, but over time they can cause big problems too. In the end, all lies can hurt. It's best to be honest, even when it's hard. Chapter 5. Never enough. Embrace mattering, amplify joy. In today's world, we often hear two harmful ideas. One tells us there's not enough to go around. This makes us feel anxious and envious. The other says our worth comes from what we achieve or own. These ideas can make us unhappy, but there's a better way to think. It's called mattering. This means believing that everyone has value no matter what. When we feel we matter, we're happier. We also treat others better. Mattering is the opposite of thinking there's not enough for everyone. It helps us see that there's plenty to go around. around. When we feel we matter, we stop comparing ourselves to others so much. Young people who feel they matter are better at showing others they matter too. Take Jack Cook for example. After college, he thanked the people who believed in him. This made him feel good, and it made them feel good too. When we feel valued, we want to value others. It's like a positive cycle. The more loved we feel, the more we can be happy for others without feeling jealous. There's a word for this, mudita. It means being truly happy when good things happen to other people. Imagine if everyone felt they mattered. The world would be a better place. We'd all treat each other with more respect and kindness. We can start making this happen by asking ourselves, how can I make someone feel valued today? We have the power to create a world where everyone feels they matter. It starts with each of us choosing to see the value in ourselves and others. When we do this, we can build a happier, more connected world for everyone. Final summary. Never enough success isn't everything. Many young people are struggling with mental health problems. Why? They focus too much on external achievements. They forget about their inner worth. David Foster Wallace has a different idea. He says, mattering is more important than success. What does this mean? Mattering means knowing you have value just by being you. It's not about what you do or achieve. It's about who you are. Wallace thinks this idea can change lives. He wants people to see their own worth. He wants them to see others' worth too. How can we do this? By making real connections with people, by sharing in each other's joys, by caring about others, not just ourselves. This shift in thinking can help young people. It can reduce stress and anxiety. It can make life more fulfilling. Remember, you matter because you exist, not because of your grades, job, or social media likes. Try to focus on relationships, not just achievements. Celebrate the small joys in life. Help others feel valued. By doing this, we can create a healthier, happier society. We can find meaning beyond success. We can learn to truly matter.